Hey everyone, it's Andrew Livingstone from StrataPrime, and in this short video, we're going to give you all of the important information about Gemini for Google Workspace. So first, what is it? It's a new name and an upgrade for Duet AI, the AI-based assistant technology that was available for Google Workspace as an add-on. If you had already purchased Duet AI, or you were in a trial, you now have Gemini Enterprise. The other thing that's new here is Gemini uses a new AI model, Google's latest one called Ultra 1.0. And Google's indicated that they're going to use this numbering scheme to indicate upgrades to the model as it goes forward in a very similar way to how ChatGPT has been indicating progress through versions as it releases new versions of its model. So what does it do? So similar to ChatGPT, Gemini now has a chat interface that's available at gemini.google.com that you can interact with as a web page or as a standalone web app to be able to have that AI chat assistant interaction. And it's really quite good in the use that we've had of it in the short time that we've had access to it. But Gemini also has the deep product integration that we love, where we can choose to use the now chat interface or continue to use the AI directly in our Gmail inbox, directly in doc sheets and slides. So you can have the benefits of the deep integration there with the Google products itself. If you want to see some of the features in action, we'll provide a link to another video where we do a 5-minute deep dive on some of those features. So what does Gemini cost? So Gemini Enterprise, which replaced Duet AI, is $30 per user per month, and it includes unlimited access to all of the AI features, including the meeting AI features, which are some of the most highly anticipated ones, where Gemini will be able to take meeting notes and summarize meeting notes and action items for us, as well as a bunch of other features that are not public, so I can't put them in this video. Now, there's also a new tier called Gemini Business, and Gemini Business is priced $10 less at $20 USD per user per month. And this gives you access to all of the in-application AI features, docs, sheets, slides, Gmail, etc., as well as gemini.google.com, but does not include the meeting AI features, the summarization, translation, transcription. Those features are not included. The other important differentiator here is that Gemini Business is limited to 1,000 requests per user per month. And Google has a very comprehensive usage limits page where you can get some information on that to see if this is appropriate for your users. In my opinion, 1,000 requests is more than enough. I don't come anywhere close to that in my use of the technology, but your mileage may vary. So please take a look at that page for more information. Now, in terms of how we can use these SKUs is that they're Workspace add-ons. So they show up in our licensing portion of the admin console as separate licenses that we can assign to individual users. So we do not need to license all users. You can license just the users that require this technology. The other thing is that we can mix and match business and enterprise within our company, because perhaps we want a segment of our users to have access to Gemini Business, and maybe our project managers and the folks that have a lot of meetings to have access to the enterprise SKU. So that's absolutely great because it gives us a lot of flexibility. There are some limitations that we've seen in the documentation around which Gemini SKUs can be matched with the Workspace SKU. If you're on Workspace Business Standard or above, you can use either of these SKUs. There seems to be some limitations for folks that are on Workspace Business Starter. And the SKUs also seem to be applicable to folks that are on non-standard SKUs like Frontline, as an example. So let's talk about now privacy, security, and governance. So first, Google's been very clear in the past about Duet AI, and they are equally clear with Gemini that this data is your data. Google is not using anything that you put into gemini.google.com to train its AI. None of it will leave your tenant. All of your interactions with the tool are protected by Google's terms of service. And any data privacy controls like DLP or data residency controls like data regions that have been applied to keep your data in the US, as an example, will also apply to all of your interactions with the AI. So the other things from a user perspective is that this technology is not going to give a user access to a document that they didn't already have access to. So when the user's using it, it's using their rights and privileges to summarize documents and find things that they have access to. And Google's also building in some controls to mask or block PII from being returned in the prompts. So for my friends that are in the healthcare industry, Gemini is also included in Google's HIPAA notice, which we'll link here, showing that Gemini is protected in Google's HIPAA terminology, so you can use it in a healthcare setting, but there is a limitation there that the chat interface is not protected. And that brings me to my next point about protecting access. So interestingly, if you have a license for Gemini, either business or enterprise, all of your interactions are protected in the way that I just described. However, if you are unlicensed, your users can still go to gemini.google.com. They're not going to have any of the in-product features because they don't have a license, but they can go to gemini.google.com and start using the chat assistant. But when you don't have a license, your users' interactions with that client are not protected, and there will be a notice on the chat screen telling them that the information that they're putting in there could be reviewed by a human. So it's giving them a warning. But as an admin, this is something that you might want to secure, and you will absolutely want to secure it if you have a need for HIPAA compliance. So you have the ability of disabling access to that if you don't have a license, and that's something that we can absolutely help you out with if you have questions about how to deploy it. So Google wants everybody to try this new technology. So they're offering very substantial discounts right now. And if you are in a contract, we can add it as a separate license. Or perhaps, if you're coming up to renewal, you could have an early renewal and add Gemini and take advantage of the substantial savings. And we're seeing that there are some pretty amazing programs available from Google right now to take advantage of. One use case in particular that might be useful to some is if your company's had a reduction in force and maybe you have more licenses than you're currently using. That's also a great situation to reach out to your account manager, because it may be a situation where we can do a term reset, reduce your Workspace license count, and add Gemini in a way that makes that contract work for you. So absolutely reach out to our account managers, and we can either add this on a trial or help you to get pricing, because Google is very motivated, and seriously, the discounts are very good that we're seeing. Lastly, we're always here to help. So with our Advice at StrataPrime program, we have training and enablement sessions that we can run to help you roll this out to your organization. Or as always, if you want to have a deeper dive into the features or talk about security or compliance or your organization's specific needs around those topics, absolutely reach out at advice@strataprime.com, and we can start a conversation about that. And then as well, if you want to see the features in more detail, check out this 5-minute video from Andy where he does a deep dive into just sort of what that new chat interface looks like. So we hope you guys found this video useful. Thank you very much. We appreciate everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.